Hello people of YouTube, my name is Josh and I am your movie apprentice, and today I'm going to be reviewing 2019's Fighting With My Family, directed by Stephen Merchant and starring Florence Pugh, Jack Lowden, Dwayne Johnson and Vince Vaughn. And this film follows the story of Saraya Knight, better known by a WWE named Paige, as she travels from Norwich, United Kingdom, over to Florida to try and prove herself amongst the WWE's NXT roster and the struggles along the way. Now, before I get into this review, guys, if you do like what I do on this channel, then please feel free to drop a like and consider subscribing to the channel. It would really help me a lot. And without further ado, let's get right into the review. So this film came out last year. I saw it. I don't know why I've not reviewed it yet. I saw it when it got released. I saw it a few months later down the line as well. I was going to review it during WrestleMania weekend, but I thought I'd already had a review of this up, and turns out I have not. So here is the review. This is a fun movie that greatly surprised me. Florence Pugh is excellently cast as Saraya Knight. She demonstrates perfectly the blend between acting tough around her fellow NXT counterparts, who she sees herself as superior to, and her vulnerable side, which she shows a lot when she is missing her home life. And the bond she has with her brother Zach throughout the film is by far and away the glue that holds the thing together. Zach is a bitter character, and it's interesting to see his downward spiral when he originally gets rejected from the WWE. The great subplot is the fact that he's teaching this school, and it shows visually that he's trying to keep these kids off the streets. This film really nails the cancel life, where kids will go out, hang out, don't have much to do, so they'll be trying to do some really stupid stuff, such as breaking lampposts with hammers on a stick, trying to jump across each other's bodies in a trolley, which is never going to end well. It is visually telling us that wrestling is a way to get these kids off the streets and out of the wrong crowds, and Zach really is the man behind all that. And the fact he's teaching a blind kid to wrestle, and the fact that's based on actual true events as well, is truly outstanding. And I feel like that subplot is a great aspect to Zach's character, and it really helped glue things together when Paige and him eventually confront each other. Nick Frost is very intense in this as well. Usually we know him as the fun, laughable, lovable guy in the Cornetto trilogy. He has been seriouser in some roles, but for the most part he doesn't really get into a more deeper, aggressive role. Playing Mr. Knight, he is by far and away probably the most scary we've seen him. He's very much a hard man personality that is strict and aggressive, but he does have a heart of gold. I do like how they had that balance, that he acts tough but is actually sweet on the inside, and it is very, very well done. The NXT stuff is really well done as well. It harkens back to the original NXT. When Paige first went over in reality, NXT didn't exist. It was basically a game show boot camp sort of thing. So these sequences were harkening back to that. One of the things that bugs me though is there's no real life characters that Paige interacts with over the NXT era. I thought the three girls he hangs out with were based in real superstars, but apparently they are not. Them and Vince Vaughn are an amalgamation of the kind of woman that Paige had to fight with, being ex-models and cheerleaders, and Vince Vaughn was an amalgamation of ex-coaches that worked with Paige, including the late great Dusty Rhodes. I feel like they missed the trick there. It would have been nice to see her being mentored by some of the greatest in wrestling, but I do understand that they had to Hollywoodize things for the film's purposes. That's what this film is. This is one of those films where it's not technically a true story. While it is based on a true story, there's a lot of stuff that is heavily Hollywoodized. There is a lot that is very adjusted for this movie. For example, her confrontation with AJ Lee at the end of the film. Throughout the film, they have constantly established the kayfabe nature of wrestling, how it is predetermined and fixed on who comes out on top. The way it's played out, like she doesn't know what's going to happen, is a little frustrating, but at the same time I get it because it's a film, we need a finale, so that makes a lot of sense. But the way they've changed a lot of that last little sequence with AJ Lee, if you look at the match in real life versus what they do in this film, they have definitely stripped away a lot and put in a lot to hearken to her underdog status, which worked well, but I felt there's going to be some wrestling purists that will really not like this because it does change a lot from what actually happened at events, and it will irk some people that actually watched this said match. I've already mentioned that they really encompass the British lifestyle. Just the characters, some of the dialogue they come out with. Fuck me dead and bury me pregnant is a great line. I love that it's used twice. I do love The Rock's visual confusion when that is happening. I do also love the love letter it has to independent wrestling. The fact there's a whole sequence where it's a phone call and the person trying to promote it says, right, will your wrestler do this? And it's stuff like taking the bowling ball to the nuts and taking the pan to the face, and they go and do it, and it's like, alright, yeah, I'll do that for the show. The stuff they plan out and just the way they book these things is really cleverly done, and it is probably one of the funniest parts of the scene. I just loved a lot of the banter between all these characters. I am very surprised that WWE, who are known for making awful movies, have somehow, probably more credit to Film 4, they've somehow nailed the British culture in this film, and it is both made fun of but also homaged and basically given great care, which I did very much enjoy. I do also really enjoy the fact that they weigh into Paige's alternative style and how she always thinks that the more normal looking people are looking down on her, because she gets that right at the start in the UK, which I can confirm does happen. They'll just call you a freak for no reason. She goes over to America thinking it's going to be the same thing, but it turns out it's not as black and white as she seems. I just love how they constantly take the mick out of a style, and they really play into this breaking the mold kind of woman that broke the mold for women's wrestling going forward. And it has done it. There's so many styles in WWE now. I just wish there was a few more cameos from actual wrestlers. Like even AJ Lee doesn't make an appearance in this for obvious reasons. But fun fact, the actress that plays her is Selena Vega, who is now currently in WWE. But there's not really that many cameos, especially not from female wrestlers, which I thought was a little bit disappointing. It would have been nice to see some of the Four Horsewomen showing up as just like new recruits to the NXT Academy and Paige teaming up with them. That would have been a nice little thing to have in a montage at the end. But I do enjoy some of the cameos that are there. Sheamus and the Big Show have one of the funniest parts of the film, discussion hot dogs. Miz shows up very briefly, which I thought was a nice little nod. Big movie star Miz is of course going to be in a movie about wrestling. And they do make several homages. Vince Vaughn's character I thought was really well done. I really enjoy this character, and I'm gutted that he's not based on a real person after the story he tells Paige about halfway through the film. But I found out that didn't actually happen. There's no wrestler that did that. If anything, it was more of a homage to Mick Foley going off that Hell in a Cell twice and really making a name for himself. So that I thought was a nice, sweet little nod to one of WWE's most iconic moments ever. But yeah, overall, this film is a very enjoyable watch for both WWE fans and non-WWE fans alike. It's a very good underdog story, and aside from some inaccuracies to the actual story that they did change to make it more Hollywoodized, I feel they did a very good job for this film. And for that reason alone, guys, I'm going to have to say that Fighting With My Family is a good cup of tea. So, Fighting With My Family, have you all seen it? If you have, let me know what you thought down in the comments below. And again, if you like what I do on this channel, then there's a like button down there, there's a subscribe button down there. Please feel free to check those out and follow my socials for your say on what comes up next. Because in actual fact, my next video will be a specially requested episode for an American Tales sequel, Father Goes West, which I am very much looking forward to getting into. But until next time then, my name is Josh, I have been your movie apprentice, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey, thank you for watching, and thank you for making it to the end of the video. While you are here, if you haven't done it yet, please feel free to drop a like and consider hitting that subscribe button for more views coming all the time. And also, while you are here, there are some other videos over there that you might want to sink your teeth into. Have a good day, guys, and do enjoy.